Hello everyone, it's DiegoDoom here, finally bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Chogokin Tamashii Mix Mecha Godzilla Ohrai Noriyoshi poster version. This version of Mecha Godzilla comes from the poster concept created by the legendary illustrator Ohrai Noriyoshi for the 1993 film Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Noriyoshi's take on Mecha Godzilla was a combining robot that consisted of three different vehicles, the Garuda, Gundalva, and Naga. This concept did not make it to the final film, but it did inspire the combining features of Mogira in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. Noriyoshi's art style is truly unique and absolutely fantastic. Noriyoshi created several more stunning posters for other Godzilla films such as Godzilla vs. Biollante, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, and other Godzilla films. Noriyoshi also created stunning posters for non-tokusatsu films such as The Goonies, Mad Max, and even Star Wars. Unfortunately, Noriyoshi passed away in 2015, leaving behind a one-of-a-kind stunning art legacy. This MechaGodzilla figure is an awesome piece honoring Noriyoshi's legacy, and I'm more than happy to have it. Chogokin Tamashii Mix Mecha Godzilla poster version is a fantastic release in the Tamashii Mix line. Mecha Godzilla has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, and a nice range of articulation. First up, we have a nice little treat. Mecha Godzilla comes with a pretty cool manga. From what I can tell, this manga loosely tells the story of how this figure came into existence. I really like how they included this manga. As a whole, I think it shows the thought and care that went into creating this figure. Now let's see what this figure's all about. First, let's start with the Gundalva. The Gundalva has a fantastic detailed armored sculpt with metallic silver paint app. At the front, we have the nicely detailed cannons with a metallic light blue paint app. We have various lights and other accents with a metallic gold paint app. The tank treads and various armor plates are very nicely detailed. On the inside of the cannons, we have our various power cables. In the center, we can see the cockpit. On the top back of the Gundalva, we have translucent yellow and red accents. For articulation, we can move the cannons up and down. We can also bend at the elbow and then tilt the end of the cannons in and out. Next up, we have the Naga with a fantastic armored sculpt and a metallic silver paint app. At the front, we have basically the toes with a sharp detailed sculpt. The armored plates have various panel lines, making it look very cool. Underneath, we have our set of matte black wheels. The wheels are fully functional and spin very well. On the top, we have the two small dome turrets. In between the turrets, we can see the cockpit. At the top of the Naga, we have the maser cannon with a great sculpt and metallic gold accents. Above the maser cannon, I think these are missile pods with a metallic gold paint app. If I'm wrong, let us all know in the comments below. For articulation, the small dome turrets can rotate some since they seem to be on small ball joints. The maser cannon turret can swivel. The maser cannon itself can move up and down. The missile pods can also move up and down. Finally, we have the Garuda. Before we take a look at the Garuda, it'd be helpful if we attach the stand, which is the only accessory this figure comes with. To attach, the cradle slots into the base of the Garuda. This can be very difficult to attach, so I recommend separating the base from the body and then slotting in the cradle. Once attached, plug the cradle into the support base. Now we have an effective way to support our Garuda. The Garuda has a fantastic sharp armored sculpt. At the front of the Garuda, the nose has a vibrant red paint app. Just under the nose, we have a pair of cannons. On the top of the wings, we have various panel lines. We can also see the hover vents at the base of the wings. Going down the center of the Garuda, we can see our long series of dorsal fins with the cockpit in the center. The tail of the Garuda has a very sharp multi-segmented sculpt. For articulation, the wings can move at 2 points. The base of the wings can move up and down some. The end portion of the wings can move quite a bit. When moving the end portion of the wings, always remember to hold close to the hinge to give everything proper support and reduce the risk of breaking anything. The hover vents at the base of the wings can flip a full 360 degrees. Now it's time for our transformations. Yes, this figure actually has two different transformations. We have our Gundalva and Naga transformation and our full Mecha Godzilla transformation. First, let's start with the Gundalva and Naga transformation. So here we have it, the combination of the Gundalva and Naga, and it looks fantastic. This combination was unexpected, but it's very cool. As you just saw, this transformation is pretty smooth and easy to complete. I'm not sure if this unit has a special name or not, but let's call it the Super Gundalva. Now, G-Force has a powerful super tank to take down Godzilla. Now, let's combine the Gundalva, Naga, and Garuda to form Mecha Godzilla. Now for here, what we're going to do is what I call finesse the joint. We want to make sure the two hinges are aligned with one another. You're basically going to have to wiggle this panel left and right to eventually get it to line up. Now attaching the Garuda at this point is a little tricky. I recommend attaching the Garuda in a scooping motion. Once you have the Garuda on the back, you'll need to slide it up and forward a bit so the chest panels align properly. You will need to adjust the arms a bit to make sure everything falls in place. When it comes to the chest panels, you need to handle them with care. The supports holding the chest panels are made of plastic when they should have been made out of die cast. When bringing the chest panels around, make sure you support and push at the hinge so the support itself is not stressed. When bringing the arms down, they may get caught on the nose of the Garuda. If this happens, press the nose of the Garuda in a bit and it should give clearance for the shoulders. We have Mecha Godzilla fully transformed and he looks absolutely fantastic. The transformation process for this figure is tough and at times it does feel like you might break something, but in the end it's totally worth it. Now let's take a look at our fully transformed Mecha Godzilla figure. Mecha Godzilla has a good range of articulation. First let's start with the head. We can look all the way up, down, left, and right. The mouth can open up. Moving on to the shoulders, as you can hear, the shoulders have nice, soft ratcheting joints. The shoulders can rotate a full 360 degrees, but I would not recommend that you do that. If you attempt to rotate the shoulders a full 360 degrees, you'll find that the top part of the shoulder tends to get caught on the nose of the Garuda, and also it tends to stress the wings of the Garuda. If your shoulders get stuck behind the Garuda, all you have to do is tilt the Garuda nose inward a bit and that should give it clearance to make it back to its normal position. The arms can come out this much. We actually have a bicep swivel that I missed earlier. We have very nice single jointed elbows. The cannons can tilt and slightly spin pretty freely. There's no movement in the upper torso, but as we saw previously with the Garuda, we can move the wings up and down some at the base. The hover blades can rotate a full 360 degrees, and the end tip wings here can actually fold all the way up and all the way down, which is great for saving space. The legs can kick forward this much, backward this much, and come out to the side this much. When you spread the legs, we do have some slight ratcheting joints going on, which is pretty cool. We have very nice single jointed knees. As you can hear the knees bend, we have more ratchets, which is very nice. The feet can tilt up and down, but as you do this tends to reverse the transformation. Now something else to note, this free-floating piece that's on the top of the ankle tends to pop out quite a bit. I'm sure you guys noticed it in the transformation. If it pops out, it easily slots back onto the ankle with the peg holes on the sides of the foot. On the heels, we have the wheels, so now MechaGodzilla can freely skate away. And then finally, we have the tail comprised of a few different ball joints, so this tail can tip up about this much and down about this much, so not a lot of movement there, but still very cool. MechaGodzilla has a very nice heavy and sturdy feel to him thanks to his die-cast parts. Here are the die-cast parts from what I can tell. When it comes to sculpt and paint apps, MechaGodzilla is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the top, we have the head. MechaGodzilla's head has a nice sharp mechanical sculpt with a metallic silver paint app and various panel lines. At the top of the head, we have our series of sharp dorsal fins. In the center of the forehead, we have a translucent yellow accent. MechaGodzilla's brow is large and angular, giving him an intense look. The eyes have a nice large sculpt with a translucent yellow lens. On the sides of the head, we have red accents and gunmetal panel lines. The snout is large with various panel lines and 2 rivets on the nostrils. The teeth have a fantastic sharp sculpt with a metallic silver paint app. I'm surprised we don't have some kind of buster cannon inside of the mouth. As a whole, I really like how this head sculpt channels the original MechaGodzilla's design. Moving down the neck, we have various vents and spiked accents. On the sides and at the base of the neck, we have metallic gold accents. The chest has a nice smooth armored sculpt with various panel lines. Just below the pecs, we can see the pistons and vents of the Gundalva. On the tops of the shoulders, we have the translucent yellow and red accents from the Gundalva. Going down the arms, again we have the Gundalva cannons with various panel lines and mechanical accents. On the inside of the arms, we have the power cables and various panel lines. Moving down to the waist, we can see our retracted Naga maser cannon. On the sides of the thighs, we have the gunmetal vents. On the back of the thighs, we have the gunmetal thrusters. On the knees, we have our small dome turrets. The feet had the same fantastic armored sculpt as we previously saw. Spin around to the back, we have the Garuda. At the top, we have the split nose of the Garuda. With the nose now wide open, we can see the inner workings of the Garuda, which is pretty cool. Going down the back, we have MechaGodzilla's series of very sharp dorsal fins. The tail has a nice sharp multi-segmented sculpt with the last dorsal fin ending at the second to last segment. Now, let's go ahead and compare our poster version MechaGodzilla with our Super MechaGodzilla and then do some size comparisons. As a whole, MechaGodzilla poster version turned out to be absolutely fantastic. I feel like they fully realized Ohrai Noriyoshi's concept design with this figure. The sculpt and paint apps on the Gundalva, Naga, and Garuda are very detailed and very well done. The transformation process for this figure is fairly easy and straightforward. The combination of the Gundalva and Naga is very easy. Now, the full transformation into MechaGodzilla does have a few steps as you saw, but in the end, it's a solid transformation. The only thing you need to watch out for are the supports for the chest panels. Those supports honestly should have been made from die cast. When folding the chest panels over, you can feel those supports becoming stressed. Remember to hold at the base of the hinge when folding the chest panels over during the transformation. In the end, I'm more than happy to add this piece of Ohrai Noriyoshi's legacy to my collection. Be sure to take some time to check out Noriyoshi's awesome artwork. It is truly stunning. Now, how much does MechaGodzilla cost? I imported my figure and paid $166. This price is a little high, but not high enough for buyer's remorse. This is a very cool and interesting piece that I think is totally worth its price. This has been another review by DiegoDoom. I want to say I sincerely appreciate your patience for this review. I had an extremely busy past 2 weeks, but now I'm back on track. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. To see the unboxing of this figure or more Monster Arts reviews, click the links on screen right now. If you thoroughly enjoy my content, consider checking out my Patreon page. Your support will be greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow me on social media, and most important of all, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.